Alrighty, back again with a kind of a special video here, and I just really wanted to do this. Still kind of was really thinking about what Teddy and I had talked about last night, and he had mentioned a record and wanted to know if I had it, and it's the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette by the Four Seasons. And Teddy, what I had told you was a little bit incorrect information. The more I thought about it, it was actually I got my copy at a yard sale, like a neighborhood yard sale. I bought 4 records that day. I think I told you that my dad gave it to me, but I was thinking it was my dad's because it was sort of mixed in with my records, well, his records, but because that was his records and hey, there's mine, so we kind of mixed them all together. But I thought about it. I was thinking about it tonight, and I remembered that's where it came from. I had purchased 2 Elvis records, like a Christmas one and something else I can't remember, like a mid-70s something or other. The Genuine Imitation Life Gazette by the Four Seasons, and Night in the Ruts by Aerosmith. Now the Aerosmith one was sort of like, I was like, whoa, Aerosmith, I gotta buy this. And I was probably like maybe like 8 or 9 at the time, I would have a feeling. My dad always had a turntable at the house, so it was sort of like, even at that time, this would have been, I would say early 90s, I was probably like 92 or something like that, maybe even like 1990, I don't even know. But anyhow, my brother and I, we sort of went to this place, got these records, and I think it was right when records were sort of still kind of in vogue, but they were kind of falling out of fashion because they were 4 for $1, which is pretty unheard of, and it was some quality stuff in there. So what I had talked to Teddy about, I said that this is a sealed copy that I've had for just a very, very long time, and I told him I was sort of holding on to it, kind of like a fine wine, still sealed there. And it's just, I've had this record, I have an open copy, but what I thought, like, what I mean, life is too short. I mean, if I never open this record, I'm never gonna have the enjoyment that when I found this, I was like, holy crap, it's a sealed record. This, of course, came out in January of 1969. It's sort of the Four Seasons, and this is sort of, Teddy joked about this, and I have another record I'll show you real quick here. He kind of joked about, he says he has a thing for when artists sort of try to keep up with the times and then they sort of fail. He said they sort of likes those type of records. So, Teddy, if you ever see this is one of my favorites, Chad Mitchell, and it's on Bell Records. I believe this is his first solo record that he did when he left the Chad Mitchell trio. Don't quote me on that because he was with Warner Brothers, but this is on Bell, and for some reason I think that the Bell Records was before Warner Brothers. I may be wrong, but he does do a cover of the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. That's why I did mention that, as well as Both Sides Now with Joni Mitchell, another Jake Holmes song, and Let's Get Together. So Dino Valente. So of course the Young Bloods. Come on, people, smile on your brothers. So I'm assuming that I wish I would have looked this up to find out when this record was from, but I would, if I had to date it, I would say maybe 60, 66, 67, something like that. I don't know. Cover's really awesome, but in the grand scheme of things, those type of records that you're talking about, that one is a fantastic one that fits right into it. But getting back to the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette, I believe he said he picked up 2 copies when he passed on. So I don't know. I was just thinking, you know what? I'm going to bust this open. I'm going to treat myself to a record. This one came out in January of 1969. So you figure it's just about 43 years old, never been open, and there it is, the telltale promo punch. So I feel like this is like sort of you're flying in an airplane and you're just about to jump out to skydive. This is sort of the feeling that I'm feeling, but I don't know. I said, man, life's too short. If I never would get to enjoy this, I don't know. That would definitely be a bummer. So I figured I would record it because there's all these really cool little things on here. It just sort of kind of jokes. There's a thing about guitarists electrocuted. There's something on the back here that talks about it's kind of like the sports page. It's American Rock League standings, and then it's sort of like, you know, the scores, who versus who. It's really funny. So the Four Seasons are in the National League as well as the American League. They won 197 games, lost 0 in the American rock standings. And then they show like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Cream, the Fugs, Moby Grape. Of course, you know, they're all really terrible. And then there's for the National Rock League, where it's the Four Seasons, Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, the Association, the Doors, and the Beach Boys. And the Beach Boys have one win here, and then there's a little asterisk, and it says protested. So it's just, you know, for the Four Seasons to be doing this, and you know, and you think about in '69, you know, the Four Seasons were way out of fashion. You know, they were, even in 1969, putting out a psychedelic record in 1969, most bands had gone to, you know, the heavy, you know, the Cream, Power Trio, Jimi Hendrix. Like everybody had that in their blood. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to play loud. You know, this stuff was way out of fashion. And you have to think about it too, like, you know, in the 60s, like 6 months in the 60s is seriously like half a decade to almost a decade now. Or maybe even like, I mean, it seems like it's getting, things really don't seem like that they're changing much, you know what I mean? But if you compare 1966 to 1976, I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. Even if you take 66 to 67, I mean, you know, that it's just how current music changed and everything like that. But in 1969, this was definitely out of fashion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. I'm going to enjoy it. I came across this. I don't remember where I found this, but it's, you know, it was a sealed copy, and I really couldn't pass it up. One of my favorite records. There it goes. Here comes the plastic. Ooh. Smells like it does have a little bit of a smell to it. So it smells like an old record. It smells like old kind of comic books, old paper. This is amazing. There we go. That is the plastic. And what I wanted to tell Teddy about was we had talked about he was missing a crucial part to the record, and oh, thank God it's in there. I got really worried for a second. But here it is. There's an insert. So there's a big, huge newspaper on the inside. He mentioned his was a little creaky to open. I think that was the one, but yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too as well. Obviously it wasn't done with acid-free paper, because as you can see, that should be white on the inside, but it sort of has rubbed off. I want to take a look at this record here real quick. Oh, look at that. It's just, I've never seen one this white before. It's even hard to pull out of there. Oh my God. That is just fantastic. It's just like, it's attracting dust, I can see that. There it is, just Four Seasons Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. This record has been unplayed. It looks really good. I don't really see, don't see any type of, you know, flaws or anything. No factory little bumps or anything like that. So I got lucky on it. It doesn't look like it looks pretty flat. It's not warped at all. So that is definitely, I was kind of worried about that, because that's one thing with sealed records, you really never know what you're going to get. Alright, so that's that. There's some really cool things on the inside of this record. This is a big one. This is part of the song with the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. As you can see, it has the Beatles dressed in the, you know, the sort of the yellow submarine thing, and they all have their fingers crossed, and they're sort of like worshiping this guru playing a sitar, which is actually lyrics from the song. A lot of these are actually song lyrics here. I think one of my favorite things on here is the, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here is the, oh no, that's not it. The horoscopes is just, it's a hilarious, I don't know if it's on here, it might be on another page. Okay, so let's get into, this is what I really wanted to show Teddy. So there's basically this insert, which is sort of, I mentioned it's sort of the grocery thing. So on here, it's just every single one of these is a joke. about current music. So Win, Strawberry Alarm Clocks. You Don't Have to Know Football. A&P. So there's the U.S. government inspected electric prunes, chocolate covered beetles, Elvis Parsley. There's canned heat, fresh cream, the peanut butter conspiracy, 30 cents off, 1910 fruit gum, peaches and herbs, silver apples, Four Seasons salad dressing, there's free cow sills, pot pies, which I think, obviously that's just a joke, vanilla fudge, Tea Company, I'm not really too sure what that is. Most of these bands I've kind of, there's Country Joe's Fish for Your Cat, 1 cent, Moby Grapes. It's just, to think that this would be released nowadays, I mean, there's no way. There would be so many lawsuits and everything like that. So the inside is pretty cool. I'm just going to kind of take it apart here. Kind of comes across in the two parts. So inside is it's kind of a spread of the band, plus an American flag of sorts, which it's kind of a pretty cool kind of way that's set up. There's some kind of funny things on here where there's the big poster for the Four Seasons Ragdoll, Billboard, #1 in the nation, July 18th, 1964. And then in here, there's some more. There's a song called Idaho on this album, and there's a big thing that sort of move in right now. Let's talk about Idaho, about these homes that you can buy. Actually, that's for Watertown. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the Idaho one. That's the Idaho, and here's all the lyrics to Idaho. Idaho, where I long to go, thrilling checker games, spelling bees, cherry trees. Idaho, lovely Idaho. Daisies in the grass, grandma's stew, the cows and you. Idaho, lovely Idaho. Playing pickup sticks, Santa Claus, applesauce. Idaho, rain, sleet, or snow. You'll be in my heart, I love you so. Just thought you'd like to know. My Idaho. And, which is funny because there's sort of like a cruise liner there. Different things for the band here as far as with movies. So just kind of really funny stuff. There's not really anything. There's a crossword puzzle. Of course, there's a lot of, all these jokes in here. So here's the constellations, the horoscopes, which I thought this is always really funny. And the best one is Scorpio. And being a Scorpio myself, that's the funny thing where it says, make a pal of your dad. He may be good for some bread later in the week. Start a rock group. Call it Scorpio. Don't practice. It's just a hilarious thing. There's some comics on the back. I mean, this is just the most friggin' bizarre. It's called High Frequency Funnies. And this one is just, it's just totally bizarre stuff. You have, Dagwood and Felix, and they've, the joke is sort of, it starts off with this guy talking to Dagwood, and then he pulls off a mask, and it's Felix the cat. And then that guy pulls off his mask, and he's Felix the cat. It's just weird. And he's like, you know what? So the guy okay, here's how it starts. So there's this guy in Dagwood, and then Dagwood, as he's talking to the guy, I'm sorry, he's over here. As he's talking to the guy, so he goes and he pulls off his mask, and he's like, I'm Felix the cat. And the guy's like, that's ridiculous. So then he pulls off his mask, and he's actually Dagwood. And then it's like, Felix the cat pulls off his mask, and then he's actually that guy. So just silliness, basically. There's some funny stuff here where this says, it's connect the dots. It's like create your own blonde bombshell. And actually, if you connect the dots, it actually it's a bomb, and then the woman's face on the inside. But sorry to ruin the surprise. But and then last but not least, the last page, still some other comics on here. There's some, I don't know. There's some dark humor there. And then of course, this is definitely a hilarious one, as you can see, where he says, "Be realistic," to Popeye. And then Popeye turns into like a real sailor. Free Dewey and Louie. And that's pretty funny. I thought Charlie Brown looking at Orphan Annie. And then down at the bottom, the Four Seasons handy hints. Don't forget. What's that say? I can't even read it. Don't forget to finish high school, kids. So there you go. The Genuine Imitation Life Gazette. I'm off to listen to this. It's a beautiful copy. And I thank everybody for watching. I'm sorry, another very long video, but there you go. I opened up an album that's 43 years old, so don't get to see that every day.